Hello, good evening, everyone. We welcome you all to day three of the 7 day national level seminar on revised assessment and accreditation of NAAC, changes and challenges. Just one small note. Uh, there could be a bit of technical glitches owing to some network connections from the resource person side. We request you to please be patient. We'll ensure that it is mitigated to the extent possible. Okay. With this note, I hand over the baton to Mr. Shivkumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, for doing the comparing. Over to you, Shivkumar, sir.
Thank you, sir. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Ajnana Trimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilat Ena Asmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Live your life in such a way that those who know you but do not know God will come to know God because they know you. Hello everyone and welcome to today's session. Good afternoon to one and all present here. This is Shivakumara N, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, SSMRV College. It's my pleasure to wholeheartedly welcome you all to the 7 day national levels webinar on the topic Revised Assessment and Accreditation of NAAC Changes and Challenges, hosted by Shivananda Sharma Memorial RV College, Bengaluru, in association with National Assessment and Accreditation Council. And this webinar is an IQAC initiative. It's our privilege to have got the opportunity to organize this event under the able guidance of Honorable Principal Dr. S. Anil Kumar Sir, respected Director Madam, that is Geeta Madam, Head Department of Commerce and IQAC Coordinator Dr. M.S. Nagaraj Sir, and Event Coordinator Mr. Gul Sir. We, the organizing team, on behalf of the SSMRV College, would like to once again give a warm and pleasant welcome to you all. In the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 34th verse, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevayam upadekshante jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. The purport of this verse is just try to learn the truth by approaching the spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Similarly, which institute requires accreditation has to approve the NAAC, the ultimate concept, which provide the details to get accreditation by following those guidelines, and also get the advice to approach the resource person. Now, I would like to request Mrs. Vidya U. Jambagi, Madam, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, to introduce one of such resource person, Dr. T. Siddaiah, former Registrar, Sri Venkateshwara University, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you, Shivkumar sir. It's my privilege to introduce our resource person, Dr. T. Siddaiah. Dr. T. Siddaiah is a senior professor in the area of finance. He is a postgraduate in commerce and also holds a doctorate degree. He has an MPhil degree from Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi, and a PG diploma in statistics. In his teaching career, spanning over 40 years, has taught different management courses at the post-graduation level with a special interest in finance. He has a vast research experience and has successfully guided 8 MPhils and 6 PhD candidates. In addition, Sir has successfully completed research projects, one minor research project funded by UGC and one major research project funded by ICSSR. As a member of the expert committee of the AICTE and chairman of NAAC peer team, he has visited several educational institutions and universities across the country. He has also served on the executive committee of the Indian Association for Management Development as honorary secretary and vice president for 2 terms. Before joining Alliance University, he was with Sri Venkateshwara University, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh as professor of management. He also served Sri Venkateshwara University in top administrative positions such as Registrar, Principal and Dean. Sir, it is an honor to have you as our resource person for the day. Sir, I request you to take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Just I am putting the screen.
Sir.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Gokul,
Yes, sir.
respond to
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, are you not able to share the screen, sir?
No, just again the power has gone off, so I am just speaking on my phone.
Okay, sir.
As soon as power comes here, and I think it is coming.
Sir, as a backup, you could send the PPT to us if it's okay, because then it will be easy for us to.
Let us see.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
So is it audible?
Sir, you're audible, sir, but the slides are not visible.
Yeah.
Sir, there are multiple devices on, sir, in your this one. Probably that is the reason there's an echo between
Just
your.
1 second.
Yes, sir.
Madam, the knob pin.
Sir, you can speak now, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Now your voice is clear.
okay. The screen. Screen is not coming.
Sir, also there is some background noise, sir. If you could put on the headphone, that will be good.
Headphone only.
Yes, sir. No, it just showed presenting. Participants, we really appreciate your patience on this.
Okay.
Yes,
Shall I?
yes, sir. We saw the PPT basically. Yeah. Yes,
It's
sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. It's if you can make it full screen, that will be wonderful, sir.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay now.
Yes, yes, sir. Perfect, sir. And your voice is also clear.
Yeah.
1
Okay.
minute, sir. Just to kind of what we'll do is we'll just let's give a couple of minutes for it. Yes.
I think everyone is settled.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I am very, very sorry for this kind of interruption. I have not anticipated that this kind of interruption would happen in the beginning itself.
No
So
problem,
anyway,
sir.
we are on the line. So at the outset, let me welcome every one of the participants to my session on teaching, learning, and evaluation. Before I take up the actual criterion, that is criterion 2, let me show you some general slides. That is, I want to share some general information. I have visited more than 50, 60 colleges for NAAC peer team. And I think I visited many colleges in the northeast and eastern side of the country. Now, with all those experiences, let me share my views, my perceptions about NAAC assessment and accreditation. Now, let me share with you these 3 bullets which are there on the screen. The colleges mostly are under the impression that getting higher or the highest grade is the ultimate goal. No doubt everyone wants to have that kind of grade, but they tend to forget that a better grade should be achieved only by improving the quality of education, but not by other means or ways. That is a very important thing. Many people are forgetting that first we have to improve the quality of education, then seek for a higher grade or a highest grade like A++ and all that. What is required is not window dressing, but presenting the real facts about the college and its educational offerings so that the college would come to know about its real strengths and limitations. About the NAAC, NAAC is facilitating or is just facilitating or identifying where the college should focus in order to provide quality education. The entire accreditation process is to help the institution for continuous improvement in providing quality education. Very important thing is that NAAC has never been a regulator. It is always a facilitating or supporting agency for quality enhancement and sustenance. Why I have shown this these 2 slides is that the colleges which I have visited, most of them were under the impression that by somehow they would want to get some higher grade or highest grade or something without improvement in their offerings, in their infrastructure, or in their curriculum, and so on. That is a very unfortunate situation. That's the reason why, even after undergoing 2-3 cycles, the colleges, not all colleges, many of the colleges remain as they were before accreditation. Perhaps this has to change. The mindset of the colleges should change, that quality quality education is the most important thing than getting the grade. The last bullet in this slide is that institutions should consider grass is greener effect, where everything is an opportunity. They should not feel anything that it is what you call a threat or a challenge or something of weakness, something of that. Everything is an opportunity. That the colleges should keep in mind. This particular criterion 2, carries the highest weightage in the total score of 1000. It carries 350 marks, or you can say that 350 metrics. And of all the criteria, this particular criterion carries more weightage and also very, very important as far as the academics or the real academics is concerned. Coming to the first key indicator, last 2 days I listened to the speakers. Yesterday I listened, and the day before yesterday also I listened to the 2 speakers. They were very good in their presentation. Why I have listened to them is that I don't want to repeat what they have told to you already. So the entire process, the gist of the entire process they presented, and perhaps by now everyone is aware of what is the accreditation process and all that. Now, yesterday also curriculum developments, curriculum design and all that curricular aspects were dealt with, and that was also a very good presentation. Now, this second criterion is on this teaching, learning, and evaluation. Now, under that, the key indicator is student enrollment and profile. And in this student enrollment, first comes the admission process. What kind of admission process is being adopted by the college? Sometimes the admission process is so transparent, but sometimes it is not transparent as we expect them to be. There are many reasons why they are not transparent. They have their own reasons, particularly the private colleges. They don't exhibit what they have done. That's not good, because even there are limited admissions. That is, actual admissions are less than the sanctioned strength. Even then, the admission process should be good. That mechanism should identify the real merit of the students, or they should identify the strengths and weakness of the students who seek admission into the college. That kind of thing is not happening in many of the colleges, and only in courses of professional importance like medical, engineering, and all that. For some courses of that kind, the admission process seems to be very, very good. But in all other cases, the admission process is not transparent as they are supposed to be like that. And again, another thing is that wide access to students from different geographical areas and socio-economic cultures and educational backgrounds. And last bullet in this is that special efforts to bring in students from special categories. So the metric, the first metric is according to the manual for affiliated colleges. The first metric under this key indicator is average enrollment percentage, number of students admitted year-wise during the last 5 years, number of sanctioned seats year-wise during the last 5 years. And template is there, and the colleges can fill all this data. and these are all very self-explanatory. I don't want to talk much about those points because they're all self-explanatory. Everyone can do this. And the NAAC manual also gives this kind of formula how to calculate the percentage per year, average percentage and all that. And it is again self-explanatory. Now, what is the purpose of this 2.1.1? That is the this metric. To know where the student strength is, whether to know whether the student strength is increasing over time or not. Because in some of the colleges, the admissions are falling, but some colleges they are maintaining the same level, and in some colleges the admissions are falling over time. So they must introspect, they must do some forensic audit, and they must know why the admissions are falling. They cannot say that the other college in other colleges are also is also happening the same way. So that's why we are also witnessing the same kind of trend. That is not the point which they have to ponder over, and they have to see why the strength is falling, and what could be the reasons and all that. As you know that the increasing strength, it reflects the quality of education in the institution. Suppose the admissions are falling, means the quality of education may not be good. Another important thing is average percentage of seats filled against seats reserved for various categories. Number of actual students admitted from the reserved categories year-wise during the last 5 years. And this is a very exceptional thing in mostly private colleges, because this reservation category is always underfilled, or in the sense that not properly they were attracted to the colleges, private colleges, and their strength is so less. There are various reasons for that. Perhaps the fees, or sometimes other things might be the hindrance for this for the students of these categories to seek admission in private colleges, particularly the colleges which are having very good infrastructure. They don't give any no kind of concession in the fees for this CAST, BC students, though they talk many things outside, but actually they are not giving concessions in fees and other things for these categories. That could be the reasons why the students of these communities, these categories, their strength, their proportion of admission in the colleges is less. I am not generalizing. In many of the private colleges, it is happening. For that, it is the formula given, that is a percentage per year, actual number of students admitted, and so on. What is the purpose of this particular metric? Is to know the extent of inclusiveness in admissions. Inclusiveness even day before yesterday, there was a budget presentation. In that also, the Honorable Finance Minister talked about inclusiveness in development. The same way, here also we expect inclusiveness in admissions, to know how serious the institution is in complying with the government rules, to know whether the institution is going beyond the government rules to help the downtrodden in the society. Because suppose reservations are there, SC, ST 15% or 20% or BC 30%, like that, reservations, some percentage of seats are earmarked, but some colleges might be going beyond that and accommodating the students belonging to this downtrodden group. The last bullet in this is it also reflects the social responsibility of the institution, because we have government rules on one side, the other side is social responsibility. of the institution. So keeping in view all these things, they have to comply with this metric. Catering to student diversity, it is very interesting, very important thing in teaching learning, because students are not of a same level of knowledge, same level of what do you call absorption, same level of analytical skills, same level of other cognitive skills, and so on. They are not the same. They are not at the same level. There are different levels. Particularly students who have come from the same stream in the earlier education, like suppose commerce at a +2 level, they opted for commerce, then they have joined BCom. Or some science students may also join in courses like MBA. So students from BCom and BBA also join MBA. In such cases, diversity of students one can see there, and students from different backgrounds. Obviously, their level of knowledge or their level of skills are entirely different. How to cater to the student diversity, that is the most important thing. The institution is expected to satisfy the needs of the students from diverse backgrounds, including backward community as well as different locals. The institution assesses the learning levels of students and organizes special programs for advanced learners and slow learners. It is a very important thing, because generally the colleges are expected to identify in each course or in each class the advanced learners and the slow learners. What I have seen in my visits is that some colleges are offering some special programs for slow learners and not anything for the advanced learners. You have to remember that advanced learners are as important as slow learners, and the slow learners are as important as advanced learners. So the colleges need to offer courses not only for slow learners, special programs, not only for slow learners, but also for advanced learners. Otherwise, what happens is that if you leave the advanced learners away, then they will get demotivated and they will get discouraged, because if no special program is offered to them, obviously they feel that they are neglected, and it is some kind of sin they have done by being the advanced learner. That way they may form their own opinions, and we should avoid that. Slow learners, again, there are different categories, and what programs we have to design for them also very important thing. Primarily, identification of the students as advanced learners and slow learners, it is a big process. It is not an easy thing, because who are the advanced learners? How do you identify? Okay, so what is the process? So these things are very important, because each college can have its own way of identifying the advanced learners and slow learners. Sometimes they may conduct some tests or some quiz or some kind of class participation, and all that. You must be very careful, because whatever you offer to the slow learners may not be of much use to the advanced learners, and vice versa also. So that's why when we are designing the courses, particular courses for these slow learners, we must see that it will help them. And also, when we design the courses for advanced learners, we must ensure that these courses are good for the advanced learners. Particularly for advanced learners, as an example, let me tell you, they can be given some challenging assignments, challenging projects. Slow learners, anyway, you can take care of in different ways. But advanced learners, you can give them some challenging assignments, challenging projects, and so on, so that their enthusiasm will be intact, and their motivation levels be at the same thing which they expect to be. So that way, again, special programs for advanced learners to keep them motivated, for slower learners to keep pace with the advanced learners. Then again, another metric is student full-time teacher ratio. Latest completed academic year, full-time teacher ratio. Purpose, what is the purpose of this? It indicates the adequacy of full-time teachers vis-a-vis student strength. On this point, I have my own observations, and I will defer that to the end. Teaching learning process, it is very important. These are the bullets which I have drawn from the manual, NAAC manual. They are not my words, they are drawn from the manual, because the other day also the resource person was telling to everyone that that they must read the college, the faculty and other people should read thoroughly the manual, so that they can do something with regard to what you call uploading of the information and interpreting the points, key indicators and all that. So that's why I have brought all those things here. What is required is learner-centered education, which facilitates effective learning. Teacher provide a variety of learning experiences, including individual and collaborative learning. Interactive and participative approaches, if employed, create a feeling of responsibility in learners and make learning a process of construction of knowledge, and so on. These things are there. Yes, I just mentioned, these are all from the manual. Now, this is the metric. Student-centric methods such as experiential learning, participative learning, and problem-solving methodologies are used for enhancing learning experience. Upload the description in a maximum of 500 words. That means it is a qualitative metric. Now, these are all the things which I have designed for this session. There is a paradigm shift in education philosophy and practice in general, not only for what you call uploading the SSR and all that. Leaving the NAAC aside, if you look at the educational philosophy, or how the education is moving towards moving towards a student-centric and so on. And I have just put this slide like a teacher-centered model that emphasizes what is presented. That was earlier. Now the things are moving towards a student-centric, like a learning-based model, focusing on what students know and can actually do. What the student does is actually more important than what the teacher does. So please remember this last point. What the student does is actually more important than what the teacher does in the classroom. Where classroom means it may be online or whatever kind of mode you adapt, but what is important is student activity is more important than the teacher activity. These are all general teaching learning methods. Perhaps many are using them. Interactive lecture, case-based learning, problem-based learning, simulation, role play, and fishbowl observation, tutorial, self-directed learning, experiential learning, laboratory work, field work, peer tutoring, peer instruction, student electronic response, e-learning. The only limits are your imagination and creativity. Like this, you can have your own teaching methods. Now, there is again one metric called teachers use ICT-enabled tools for effective teaching learning process. It is very, very important thing. Just look at this slide. New technologies that can be leveraged in education shall include. You see, these are all very important in the sense that these technologies are considered to be disruptive technologies in the sense that particularly in education, these technologies can replace most of the courses which we are teaching to the students, which the students are learning. Suppose I have mentioned here machine learning, deep learning, blockchain, augmented reality, virtual reality, metaverse, natural language processing, NLP. And recently perhaps many of you might have read about ChatGPT. And these technologies are really helping the students and also helping the institutions to have effective learning. But at the same time, the curriculum is getting transformed. Yesterday, I listened to the resource person on curricular activities. Okay, as far as NAAC is concerned, they're all fine. But when you look at the curriculum which is required today, it is entirely different from what it was earlier. Say, for example, machine learning. With the machine learning technology, you can have all predictive models. Suppose in statistics, we have linear regression and other regression models and all that. You can have all kinds of regression models being replaced by this technology. In the sense that whatever you learn in the conventional curriculum, entire subject is replaced by this machine learning, because this technology gives hands-on experience and also knowledge and skills and so on. Same way, deep learning, blockchain technology, augmented reality, virtual reality. Suppose the students of commerce, management, we take them to the industry. We show them what is going on in manufacturing, what is going on in administration, and so on. If they are in a different place, we bring them to the cities, and we take the permission of the companies or the organizations for a visit and so on. So it is all cumbersome exercise. But with virtual reality in the classroom, you can have the same experience. That what we call experiential learning. You can have it. Sitting in your classroom, sitting at home, you can have that. Similarly, augmented reality. Blockchain can replace all your accounting subjects. It can replace your auditing. Many of the things can be replaced by this blockchain. Similarly, deep learning. It has got wider applications in finance and other subjects as well. And metaverse, I need not tell you about the importance of metaverse and recent technologies, ChatGPT. In my view, I have taught more than 45 years different subjects in different institutions and so on. In my view, that the syllabus or the curriculum of most of the subjects which we are teaching to the students is completely outdated. Completely outdated. So whether you take science subjects or art subjects, commerce or management, most of them are outdated. Suppose in management, marketing subjects, all marketing subjects, there are different marketing subjects. There is no need for all such subjects nowadays with this technology. Okay. So similarly, finance subjects or HR subjects, any subject, even commerce subject, most of those subjects are made redundant. So the curriculum needs a lot of improvement, a lot of transformation. If the colleges or universities do not do that as early as possible, then whatever we are teaching to the students will be of no use in the actual employment market or in the society as well. As you know that we are in industry 4, that is the 4th industrial revolution. What is happening in the 4th industrial revolution? it is not that industrial revolution we are talking here only just for some jobs and all that, because it impacts every other sector as well. So that's why here Industry 4.0, that is the fourth industrial revolution. What is happening is that major technological advancements are revolutionizing industrial production, where automation of manufacturing processes is upgraded with a smart autonomous systems capable of self-cognition, self-optimization, and self-customization. Perhaps you remember some of the videos in social media that particularly the car assembling and other things, and without any involvement of humans, the entire car is assembled with some hundreds and thousands of parts within no time, without any human involvement. Everything is automated. Okay, so why we are talking about that? Because of the fourth industrial revolution and the Web 3.0, you know about Web 3.0 and other technologies. Now the skill set is different now. That is, a skill set required of the students is different. What it was earlier, what it is now. That's why just now I said that no, the entire curriculum needs a thorough revision, thorough transformation, because the skills required today and the skills required some 5 or 10 years back entirely different. So now again in another 2-3 years, the skill requirement will be of a different kind. So here I just mentioned cognitive and metacognitive skills, which include critical thinking, creative thinking, learning to learn, and self-regulation, and so on. And social emotional skills, which include empathy, self-efficacy, and responsibility, collaboration, and practical and physical skills, which include using new information, communication technology devices, and so on. These are the things required in these days, but whether our subjects, whether courses would cater to the needs of the students on this skill development. That is very important. That's why I said that the courses which we are offering, the curriculum which we have designed and developed, they are not of much use to the students given all these kind of requirements with this Industry 4.0 and Web 3.0. Here is one quotation, and this Thomas Friedman states, in an age when parts and all of many jobs are constantly going to be exposed to digitization, automation, and outsourcing, it is not only what you know, but how you learn that will set you apart. Because what you know today, this part is very important. What you know today will be out of date sooner than you think. So that means whatever we teach today may not be relevant by the time when the students join any organization for employment. So in response to Industry 4.0, we have got what is called Education 4.0. It is an entirely personalization of the learning process, where the learner has complete flexibility to be the architect of his own learning path, he has the freedom to aspire for approach to achieve personal goals by choice. It is the learner who is responsible for defining the various dimensions of his education path. The what, where, when, how, and why while moving up the learning ladder. So education has gradually transformed from a person-to-person learning system to a formal, that is some decades back or last century, we had this kind of education, Gurukul system. In the Gurukul system, that is a person-to-person learning system. That is a Gurukul system. So then it has moved over to formal system of education that focused on one-to-many. That's what we are doing even these days. Now the trend is towards one-on-one, providing various broad learning opportunities to the masses with increased use of technology. That what is happening and what is going to happen in the months to come or in the years to come. And another thing is adaptive learning. I don't know whether the NAAC manual can capture all this, but as an institution, you must have some idea about all these things, because it is not just satisfying the NAAC for grade, but institution should run and should survive, should live long. So for that, we need to have a different kind of what you call course offerings. So adaptive learning, in this adaptive learning, wherein every learner is provided with his own individual path of learning, depending on how much he already knows, what he needs to know, and the amount of time he needs to develop the competence in a particular topic. See, it is very simple. When we go to the class, we just teach whatever we want to teach, whatever we want to share, irrespective of whether the students or some of the students have already learned them or not. We just share with them whatever we want to share. But in this adaptive learning, it is not like that. It is very precise in the sense of what the students want, only that will be important to them. So that kind of learning is called as adaptive learning. Education 4.0 is around experiential learning by the individual. The instructional theory and the foundations are delivered across technology-enabled platforms, and a tighter integration with the industry and society provide a robust platform for learning from the peers, social interactions, and the real-world issues. So what exactly is the experiential learning? It is also mentioned in one of the metrics here, experiential learning. So that's why I have put one slide for your information. That is, experiential learning is an engaged learning process whereby students learn by doing and by reflecting on the experience. Experiential learning process includes the integration of knowledge, activity, and reflection. That is the knowledge of the concepts, facts, and the information. See, while I was talking to a group of faculty, I tell them, I told them that suppose in the beginning of the subject, we talk of the definitions, meanings, and so on. Even when we talk of the definition or meaning of the concepts, you must contextualize those things. It is not just telling theoretically, but you have to contextualize even those definitions given in the book or elsewhere, or the meanings given in the book or elsewhere, or your own creation. But you have to contextualize. That is very, very important. If you just tell them that this is the definition, this is the meaning, these are the advantages, these are the disadvantages, this is this, this is that, no, it doesn't serve the purpose. You have to contextualize. So that's why here experiential learning. So the application of knowledge to a real world setting and reflection, analysis, and synthesis of knowledge and activity to create new knowledge. You see, as I told a few minutes back, that these technologies, particularly the virtual reality and augmented reality, help the faculty, help the institution, help the students to have experiential learning even at their homes or in the colleges. It's very easy. You need not go to any companies or organizations which are located elsewhere. You need not go there. The same thing you can have in your mobile itself. In your mobile itself, you can have all those things. Suppose the metaverse. You can travel anywhere through metaverse. Suppose Chat GPT. You can have any kind of information. So you can just by chatting with in the app, you can have any kind of information. I think in the days to come or in the months to come, Chat GPT will change entirely the curriculum and also the pedagogy and so on. I think many of the faculty will become redundant. When the Chat GPT comes into effect in full scale, because redundant in the sense that the traditional teaching will go away. So there will not be any role for traditional teaching. Different kind of things will come in. Obviously, the students will prefer that, not the conventional teachers or conventional teaching. And the ratio of mentor to students for academic and other related issues. This is another metric: number of mentors, number of students assigned to each mentor. You see, mentoring is very important. Particularly, the students are overstressed because of several reasons. They are perverted. Many students are perverted with this mobile technology and other kinds of social media, and they are overstressed. So when they are overstressed and perverted, better to have good mentors for them. Mentoring is very, very important for the students. Some people are becoming psychic also. Some students, I have seen some students are becoming psychic, and they are perverted, and so on. So such kind of people, continuous counseling and mentoring will help them to have a good life and a good education, and so on. So that's why this mentoring is very important in the colleges, but most of the colleges are neglecting this particular factor. And just as I as I have shown you in the beginning, that window dressing is mostly observed in many of the colleges. That is, they just show in the records when we go there as a peer team. They just show us that mentoring is happening like this, and these are the faculty members who are given these students, who are assigned these students, and all that. So further nothing. So no attendance, no what you call follow up, and so on. Nothing of that. They are just for formality sake. They show some records, but in reality, it is completely absent. And teacher profile and quality, these two bullets I have drawn from the manual. That is teacher quality in terms of their qualification, teacher characteristics, adequacy of recruitment procedure, faculty availability, professional development, recognition of teaching. Teachers take initiative to learn and keep abreast with the latest developments, to innovate, continuously seek improvement in their work, and strive for individual and institutional excellence. Average percentage of full-time teachers against sanctioned post during the last 5 years. It is again another metric. It is a quantitative metric. Perhaps it is a self-explanatory. I did not explain further because the formats are there. Templates are also self-explanatory. We did not go to those templates to tell you about all that. Then the average percentage of full-time teachers, a number of full-time teachers with PhD and all that, these are all the things are required as quantitative metrics. Average teaching experience of full-time teachers in the same institution, data for latest completed academic years and number of years. Again, it is also self-explanatory. List of full-time teachers with years of teaching experience and other details of them, and that a template is there. I think you can fill those details there. Now, in the glossary, of manual, it is given who is a full-time teacher. A teacher employed for at least 90% of the normal statutory number of hours of work. For a full-time teacher or a complete academic year is classified as a full-time teacher. But in the light of moonlighting, perhaps many people are aware of this concept of moonlighting. That means an employee can have more than one employer in a day or simultaneously. So an employee can have more than one employer anytime or simultaneously. So like that. That means a teacher can work for some hours here and go to another college, work somewhere there, and online teaching and many of such kind of things are happening thanks to the advances in technology. You can sit in one room and you can interact with the people in one college, and after some time you can have interaction with the students in another college, or you can combine them and you can have combined sessions and so on. That kind of flexibility is there. But given all these things, because in the companies itself, it is happening in particularly IT sector, even in a way, what do you call them? Google and Microsoft and other organizations, Infosys and other organizations, top level organizations, this moonlighting is happening, and permissions are given to the employees to opt for moonlighting procedure and so on. If that is the case, why this concept of full-time teachers always? That was earlier, it was a kind of a thing required some 5-6 years back. Now it is a kind of a moonlighting that see, I can tell, because with all my experience, I can tell that we can suppose MBA course or MCOM course with one teacher, full-time teacher, we can run the entire program because of online facility and so on. And this technology, as I told you, this augmented technology, virtual augmented reality, virtual reality, metaverse, and so on. So teachers anywhere can interact with our students, and they can listen to our students, and they can share their knowledge with the students anywhere in the world. It is effective as well. It is effective. It is more effective than conventional teaching in the classroom. That is my observation. I have also done the same thing. But students are very comfortable. They are interacting with the resource persons, and many things they are getting sitting at home. If that is the case, why this concept of full-time teacher is insisted upon these days? Likewise, there are many things given these advances, given the advances in technologies, particularly these disruptive technologies. Many changes are happening. Keeping in view those changes happening in the academics, the NAAC also has to revise its framework. That is assessment and accreditation framework. It has to revise. Otherwise, these things would become redundant. Evaluation process also. Evaluation is to provide development, including feedback. The qualitative dimension of evaluation is in its use for enhancing competence of students. This again drawn from the manual. Evaluation system should be evaluated in terms of quality of questions, extent of transparency in the system, extent of development, including feedback system, regulatory in the conduct of examination, declaration of results, as well as the regulatory mechanism for prompt action and possible errors. So these are the 4 bullets which I have done from the manual, and it is for your information. And the mechanism of internal assessment is transparent, robust in terms of frequency and mode. That what is to be uploaded in the website, in the portal. Mechanism to deal with internal examination related grievances is transparent, time bound, and efficient. These are the formal kind of things the institutions have to comply with for assessment and accreditation. And the student performance and learning outcomes, that's again a very interesting thing, very important thing. Real test of the extent to which teaching learning has been effective is reflected in the student performance in the examinations. Student performance is seen as the realization of learning outcomes, which are specifications of what a student should be capable of doing on successful completion of a course or a program. You see, these are the metrics given. teachers and students are aware of this stated programs and course outcomes of programs offered by the institution. And for that, some kind of description has to be uploaded in the NAAC portal. As you all know that outcome-based learning is the order of the day these days. In the sense that whatever we whatever we want to teach, it must be very focused. Whatever we want to share with the students, it must be focused. How it can be focused? There must be some kind of a endpoint or a goal for that. So that's why outcome is the demonstration of learning. That is what the learner is to know or do. Outcomes-based approach is also known as the competency-based approach. See, these metrics in the manual or these are the requirements in the SSR to be filled. But most of the colleges which I have visited, many people do not know what is this outcome-based teaching. They do not know what are the outcomes, because particularly in rural areas, they do not know what do you mean by this outcome-based teaching, learning and all that. So, but in the cities also, some of the colleges, they do not know about outcome-based teaching, learning. But it is very, very important because it is very effective, because I have seen in some of the colleges that when it is implemented, it is giving so much of result. It focuses on what the learner can demonstrate at the end of the learning activity. Attainment program outcomes and course outcomes are evaluated by the institution. That is, describe the method of measuring the level of attainment of programs. That is, once we have designed the program outcomes or course outcomes, then how to evaluate whether the students have achieved them or not. There are different methods for evaluation, whether the students have achieved those assignment or those outcomes or not, to what extent they could achieve those outcomes. For that, we have some assessment methods. There are assignments, projects, oral presentation, traditional tests, objective tests, case studies, essay questions, end of chapter type problems, reflective journals, seminar presentation, practical application, peer and self-assessment, and so on. There is no limit for this list. So you can have your own creation of different methods. One thing is that this outcome-based teaching learning is highly focused. It is highly focused. It is goal-oriented. It is very effective, particularly these days with technological advances. It is very important. Then again, assessment in outcome-based education is a continuous or ongoing assessment. You see, what we are doing is after 1 month of teaching, we conduct some formative assessment, or at the end of 3 months of happening of the course, happening of teaching, we do summative assessments and all that. But it must be, the assessments should be continuous. It must be ongoing. It is not that every time you have to conduct the tests and all that, but there are different methods of evaluation, that which I have just mentioned. You can have an idea of those things. Average pass percentage of students during the last 5 years, and again, this is not that important these days, because marks are not that important, but we have to comply with the university requirements, because the students should get degree certificate or other kinds of things they have to do in order to get the credential certificate. Otherwise, marks do not matter. because what is required is knowledge and skills. Particularly, skills are important. Knowledge is also important. So these marks sometimes may not matter much, but to fulfill the requirements requirements for getting a degree certificate, the students have to get 50% marks or 60% marks or more than that. So that is the requirement. So that's the reason why the NAAC is also insisting on that. This is very important. Many people here again doing some kind of things which is not expected of them. Colleges, institutions. I know about some of the colleges, how they are manipulating and all that, but that is not good. So the requirement is that all the efforts of teachers and institutions to make learning meaningful process can be considered impactful only to the extent students perceive it to be meaningful. See, we think that we are offering a very good course, or we are teaching very well. Our infrastructure is very good. We are excellent in everything. We feel like that. But what the students think about that, how they perceive, that is very important. Because what we think of, okay, fine. But what the students think of the institution, think of the courses, and so on. That is very much required. So that is the reason why we have this satisfaction survey. Their satisfaction level is decided by the kinds of experience they undergo, the extent of the comfort feeling, as well as intellectual stimulation the learning situation provide. Their feedback significantly showcases the actual quality of teaching learning process, enabling identification of the strengths of teaching as well as the possible improvements. Student satisfaction thus is a direct indicator of the effectiveness of teaching learning in the institution. So for that online student satisfaction survey regarding teaching learning process, you know about that, the institution should upload the student details like their ID card, mobile number, email, and all that. And at least 20% of the students should respond. Otherwise, this will be ignored. 60 marks the college will be losing. So that way it is very important. That is the end of my presentation.
Thank you, sir. Participant, please type your questions, any queries, or you can unmute your audio and ask the question. 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, I can interact.
Yeah.
Still time is there.
Yes, sir.
15-20 minutes. So we can have some kind of effective interaction.
Hello, sir.
Please.
Sir, a couple of questions.
Yeah.
This is from our colleague, Ms. Bharti NS. She's from the team which takes care of criteria 2. The question is with regard to mentoring, sir. Can you please brief us on what kind of documents could be maintained for advanced learners and slow learners?
See, documents means first of all, how do you identify the slow learners and advanced learners? What is the process? Whether you have conducted any test or interactions in the classroom, and what is the process which
So
you have adopted?
criteria. Yes, sir. So if we could take the example of our college, we go by the marks which they have scored in the previous examination, plus the marks they have scored in their internals, plus the presentations, their overall performance in the class. That is that is a criteria for us. Yeah. And we need to, the entire class, if we divide it as 10% as advanced learners and 10% as low learners, that is the basis on which we divide it, sir.
Now, another important thing is that once you divide, the students as advanced learners and slow learners, and continuous monitoring is required. So every month you have to see whether the advanced learners are still advanced learners or slow learners are still slow learners. So continuous monitoring is also required. So once we have identified, and again, as you know, that it depends upon the course subject. Okay, in one subject, a particular student is at advanced level. In another subject, he may not be at advanced level. He may be at a slow learner category. So it is again a continuous monitoring is for this continuous monitoring is required. So that means continuous monitoring means not every day, at least once in a month we have to review. We have to review whether the advanced learners which you identified a month back still they continue to be advanced learners or they have become slow learners and so on. For that, you can maintain the records.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
This question was asked by myself. I'm Bharti.
Yeah,
Sir,
please.
actually, we have different methods of identifying advanced learners and slow learners. Could be by the score of the students, we see them bifurcate as slow learners and advanced learners. We give remedial classes for slow learners. Advanced learners will be given reference books, some extra activities so which we can enhance their knowledge because they learn advanced level. So for this kind of learnings, what kind of assessments could be done so that we can maintain the documents was the question, sir.
Okay. What I suggest to you is that you see, if you are teaching a particular subject, obviously you can identify who are the slow learners and who are the advanced learners in the classroom itself. Because when you interact with them, when it is a participative learning and the discussions are happening in the classroom on a particular topic or any topic or any day, you can identify easily. So who are the slow learners, who are the advanced learners, and so on. And for that, you can also have some quiz programs, quiz kind of a program, quiz kind of a test, so that you can identify whether they are advanced learners or slow learners. That we do at the beginning of the program, beginning of the course. Then after 1 month or so, you have to review that. You have to review that.
So
and another
continuous.
thing is that most of the colleges, what they are doing is that they are taking care of somehow the slow learners, but they are leaving these advanced learners. That is very unfortunate thing, and that is not good for the institution. Advanced learners are as important as the slow learners. You have to give them challenging assignments and so on, so that their motivation levels will be kept intact. Yeah, please.
So that means maintenance of any assessment that happens continuously is sufficient.
I'm not talking that way. What I am trying to tell you is that when we want to identify slow learners and advanced learners, there must be some evaluation method, or it may be like classroom interaction and so on. It depends upon the teacher, and the teacher can identify who are the slow learner and who is the advanced learner. Once the students are identified accordingly, then we have to give them assignments, and we have to give them some extra inputs, and we have to develop some other skill development. We have to offer some skill development courses and so on for both the category of students. So then every month you have to review that and change it. That's what I mean to say. You got the point?
Bharti ma'am, I hope that answers the question. Can we move on to the next question?
You can maintain all these records. You can maintain all these records. Because how you have identified who are the slow learners, who are the advanced learners in the beginning, then after a month what has happened, so whether advanced learners have turned out to be the slow learners, or slow learners have moved over to the advanced learners, those things you can keep watching, and you can have your own records. See, recording is very important. Maintaining a documentation is very important. Even the other day also, the resource person from NAAC, he was also telling about the same thing, that documentation is very, very important. Whatever you do, there must be some documentation. Okay. Same case with the mentoring also. See, when you call a student for mentoring and spend some half an hour, 1 hour with the student, you must record whatever you have talked with the student and how you have interacted with the students and how the student has responded to your queries and other things, and you must have the record. So that way, next time when you call that student for mentoring, again you have to see what have happened earlier and now, whether there is a change in him, in his behavior or in his response and so on. You must see the change in him. So that way, continuous documentation is required for all these things. And the same thing you can upload for the NAAC, and also when the NAAC team comes and you can present them. These are the things which we are doing. Otherwise, if you don't do all those documentation, then it will become what we call window dressing. Yeah, next.
Okay, sir. So the next question is by Mr. Karthik D. What is the optimum mentor-mentee ratio?
See, we cannot generalize that. We cannot generate. It all depends upon the number of students and number of faculty in the colleges. Suppose in private colleges, the strength is the faculty strength is very less, in the sense that each teacher is given 3 subjects to teach and all that. In that case, teacher strength is very less. When the teacher strength is very less and the student strength is very high, obviously that ratio will become very high. But what I feel is, personally, what I have observed is that each teacher in a semester, not more than 20 students, not more than 20. Because if we have more than that, it is very difficult to have effective interaction with that student. If we have 20 and less than 20, I think the teacher can monitor and even we can what you call mend his behavior, mend his other kinds of things. I think there is a possibility for such kind of thing if the ratio is 1:20. If it is more than that, it is in some colleges I have seen more than 60, 70, 100, like that. Where is the time for the teacher to sit with the students and talk with the students? Because they have to teach 3 subjects in a day and prepare for the class, and again interacting with the students is a very difficult exercise. So it becomes something on paper, not in reality. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, just in the interest of time, sir, the last 1 or 2 questions quickly. Yeah. So that participants, really sorry, we have to close by 5 o'clock. So we have taken
5 minutes this side, that side.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah,
sure,
because
sir. So
we cannot stop them from talking.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Just trying to make them aware of the. So the next question is by Dr. Vinay. He's asking, sir, can you please explain a bit about outcome-based teaching and what is considered important and effective in that? Of course, I know that it's quite an elaborate question in terms of outcome-based, but your take on that, sir.
You see, for your information, I have developed my own model of outcome-based teaching learning and implemented in one of the institutions in Bangalore. 5 years I have implemented, and very wonderful results we have got with this outcome-based teaching learning. As I told you in my session, that is earlier, that it is highly focused and there is no wasting of resources either from the teacher or from the student. And whatever we want the student should learn, that will be in the form of outcome, and the teaching will be accordingly. And all other kinds of evaluation and everything should be accordingly. So suppose when we take up a particular topic for classroom teaching or for classroom discussion, we the teachers tend to go this side, that side, and so many kinds of things, because there is so much to talk about. But if it is outcome-based teaching learning, and it is very precise what you are supposed to teach, what the student is supposed to learn in this particular subject, in this particular course, in this particular program. At the end of the program, suppose if it is a BCom, okay, at the end of the first semester, what the student should have achieved, should have learned, should have developed the skills. What kind of skills? Like that, everything is specified. It is a planned approach, and everything is specified, and it is shared with the students. It is shared with all the faculty members. It is shared with the institution. Everything, everyone knows, and everything is known to everyone. It is highly transparent. I have implemented in one of the institutions here for 5 years. We have got wonderful results. And the technology is helping us. So no any kind of paper writing or papers and all those things are not required. Everything online. Even stating the outcomes, there is a course outcomes, a program outcomes, and evaluation. Everything is online. So sitting in my home, I can monitor everything, and what kind of things are happening in the college and all that. That is possible thanks to technology, as I told you. So it is very much required, and many of the organizations, particularly ACTA, and that is a ranking framework, and even NAAC also should go too much about this what you call outcome-based teaching learning. That's very, very important. We must go towards this in a full scale. And again, technology, as I told you, it is very important, because most of you are faculty, and some of them are in some positions like HODs, directors, and all that. It is very important that the technology is what you call bulldozing our curriculum. Bulldozing in the sense that it is replacing the traditional curriculum, the curriculum which we are teaching, because I know the universities, what kind of syllabus they are teaching. It is highly irrelevant. There is no need. Recently, I visited one university, agriculture university, and they have got some hundreds of acres of land for experimentation and all that. I told them that these days not required. Sitting in a classroom, and you can show all these experiments. So you did not go to the fields and show them all that. Those fields can come to the class, and you can show them and what kind of experiments you want to do, you want the students to do, and all that. Same case with most of the things. Suppose I told you about this blockchain technology. Blockchain technology can replace the accounting, because Tally and all that we have learned, we have taught, but there are no need for that. And auditing, complete auditing can be replaced. And machine learning can replace the entire BSc statistics and MSc statistics, can be replaced by the machine learning and deep learning. All finance courses can be replaced by this machine learning and deep learning. Most of them, if not all, most of them. So that is the kind of technology we have. And we are teaching all old models and all kind of syllabus. And the students are listening to us, and they are taking degree certificates and going to in their own way. Yeah. And Chat GPT, please be aware of that. Please be conversant with that. All the faculty and other people who are in this session, I request them. Chat GPT is highly revolutionizing, is highly revolutionizing every sector, particularly education sector. So it may replace even the entire student teachers entire system of old conventional teachers. Yeah, next.
Thank you,
Excuse
sir.
me, sir.
That's
Sir, I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, please.
yes.
Sir, I have a question. I'm Aisha, actually from St. Teresa's Degree College. Sir, in key indicator 2.6, we have pass percentage of students during last 5 years, wherein number of final year students who pass the university examination year-wise during 5 years is to be considered. In that case, final year students who have passed, where I have to upload supporting documents, should I have to include their all 6 semester marks, sir?
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
In supporting documents.
Yeah, supporting
All
documents.
6 semesters.
Yeah, 6 semesters.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I think we are done with the Q&A session, sir. And Shukma, sir, over to you.
So thank you, sir. You have given all the information which is required for the criteria 2, that is teaching, learning, and evaluation. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and shown us a new path. So now I would like to request Mrs. Shakila MK, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, to propose the closing remarks and vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. As quoted by Albert Einstein, intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. I would like to show the points which has been emphasized by Dr. T. Siddaiah, sir, in today's session. Sir, the session was indeed an enhancing and informative. We have lots of insights which were given today regarding criteria 2 to be concentrated on teaching, learning, and evaluation. It was a session where it obviously eased us the various requirements in terms of documentation, best teaching, learning practices to be inculcated as an individual and institution. This being a criteria with highest weightage is indeed a crucial element in the accreditation process to be compiled with by catering quality-based education in the institution, along with the student perspective to be concentrated. Good evening, all. On behalf of Shivananda Sharma Memorial RV College, I'm glad to express my vote of thanks. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed resource person of the day, Dr. T. Siddaiah. Thank you, sir, for taking time and consenting to be our resource person for the day. Thank you, sir. I thank all the principals, deans, academicians, faculties from various universities and colleges across India who joined us for this session from their busy schedule. Thank you all. We are very thankful to all the participants who have logged in from different parts of the country. Thank you all. I am immensely thankful to our Honorable Principal, Dr. S. Anil Kumar, sir, for his ideas and elegance. Sir, we are grateful to you as you inspire us to do the best, standing as a pillar of strength and nurturing students as well. Sincere thanks to our respected director, Dr. Geeta R. Ma'am, for her support and guidance bestowed to us. I extend my thanks to Dr. M.S. Nagraj, sir, for his motivation and commitment. I also wish to extend gratitude and thanks to Mr. Gokul C, sir, who is the event coordinator. With a deep sense of appreciation, we thank all our fraternity for their tireless efforts, extended support. I thank the organizing and the technical team for their support in making this event a success. Thank you all. By this, we end the session.
From my side, I thank you very much for being with me over 1 hour or so. I thank the college for having invited me to share my ideas with the faculty and other people across the country. I thank once again, I thank every one of you for being with me over this 1.5 hour session. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Hope this was an informative and enriching session which will help us to frame our teaching learning pedagogy as per NAAC standard. Thank you all. Have a great day. Here we end the day 3 session of 7-day national level webinar. We request you all to join for the day 4 session tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. on the topic Research, Innovation and Extension by Dr. Dr. Sham Singh Inda, Assistant Advisor, NAAC, by using respective link which has been shared, and the same will be posted in the WhatsApp group. Thank you all. Have a great day. The feedback link will be shared in the WhatsApp group. It's already been shared in the chat box. Kindly fill it up so that you can get the e-certificate on the last day. Thank you all.